Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to all our honored guests. Welcome to webinar session of the Higher Education Virtual Expo 2021. With me today is Pangeran Muhammad Farid Zulhusni bin Pangeran Aziz, Training Lead Coordinator or Operation Officer from Cybersecurity Brunei. He will be presenting a topic on Cybersecurity 101 Introduction. There will be a 10-minute session for question and answer at the end of the session. You can type all your questions at the chat area and we will try our best to answer them at the end of the session. Thank you. Silakan Pangeran.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, sorry. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you to Ministry of Education for inviting us for this wonderful event. It's an honor to be part of a higher educational virtual expo events. We expect the virtual mini event will run about 40 minutes, including question and answer sessions. So before we start our event today, I need to check if everyone can see the presentation slide and hear the sounds clearly. You can check, you can communicate to the chat. Okay, let's start. The topic we'll be sharing today is Cybersecurity 101, where we will be sharing the best security practice on how we can protect our personal information from cyber criminal. Just a quick one. My name is Pangeran Muhammad Farid Zulhusni bin Pangeran Aziz, a lead trainer at Cybersecurity Brunei and boosted, in short, a Brunei Computer Emergency Response Team. So Alhamdulillah, His Majesty has consented to the establishment of Cybersecurity Brunei as the National Cybersecurity Agency for Brunei Darussalam last year, and it began its operation on the 1st August 2020, which offered the three common services, which is the BUSET, Brunei Computer Emergency Response Team, NDFL, National Digital Forensic Laboratory, and CyberWatch Center Brunei. So in addition, this Secure Verified Connect Awareness Talk is an initiative under BUSET, which aims at increasing the awareness of internet safety and information security among the Bruneian public. And for more information on SVC or Secure Verified Connect, you can visit us at www.secureverifyconnect.info. So I'm just going to share a few of our awareness campaign that we have done for the past 8 or 9 years. Okay. So we also extend our initiative to radio show to a segment called Cyber Safe at Pilihan FM 4 times a week, where we share the recent cyber attacks and preventive measure. And more targeted audience to cinema, RTV1 and 2, YouTube, as well as social media, which include Facebook and so on. We're also conducting a roadshow and awareness talk as well. So unfortunately, due to the current COVID situation, most of the roadshow event in 2020 is cancelled. But as for awareness talk, we still conduct via webinar as an options. And starting from January 2021 onwards, you also can follow us at Rampai Pagi every second and fourth week of Friday at 8:45 morning. Okay, let's move to the agenda. So I'll be covering 5 main topics as below. So it's going to go to the first topic for today, the importance of cybersecurity awareness. First of all, we have a look on the statistic of population in Brunei Darussalam. So there's around 437,479 population of Brunei as of 2020. Okay, this is based on that information or data collected by UN Data. And out of 437,479, there is around 413,000 of internet user in Brunei Darussalam. Okay, it's the same data collected based on January 2020. And 95% of internet Brunei Darussalam is actually using the internet. So next, move on to social media user. The total number of social media user in Brunei Darussalam is estimated around 410,000, which is around 94% of the population in Brunei Darussalam. So this includes WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And it's a second place according to the highest penetration globally. Yeah? And the first one will be, if not mistaken, is Kuwait. Okay. One of the reasons is actually because an individual tend to have multiple social media account. Okay, contohnya, one individual ada one for personal, one for business, and one possibly for office punya related. And mobile connection, around 576,000 of mobile connection in Brunei Darussalam. Okay. According to the article, one of the possibilities of the the number of increasing of number of mobile connection is because one individual tend to have multiple mobile phone or lines, like DST, Imagine, Peace Progressive, and so on. Okay, usually when people talk about information security, they always touch on these 3 main factors to protect the information. So the first one will be the confidentiality, integrity, as well as availability. Confidentiality is the protection of information from unauthorized access and misuse of information, while integrity explains in the condition where information is kept accurate and consistent unless unauthorized changes are made. And availability is a situation where information must be available to authorized user when and where it is rightly needed. Okay, so on top of these 3 main factors, there's another 3 pillars that are the key success to support all these 3. So the first one will be the people. Okay, so this includes educating user on the dangers of the internet and educate them on how to stay safe on the internet. So number 2 is the process. So process include procedures and policies. There's a situation where an organization doesn't allow their staff to bring their own mobile phone device, or in short BYOD. So this is one of the example of policy. And last but not least is the technology. Okay, so technology such as firewall, CCTV, antivirus, and so on. So this is the 3 pillars that actually supporting the 3 main factors, which is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And this is some few statistics I can manage together back in 2018. According to Edstan, 95% of all successful cyber attacks is caused by human error compared to technologies as well as the process. Okay, users tend to click malicious link, download a malicious software, and so on. And in 2019, according to CyberSafe, 90% of cyber data breaches are caused by human error. And in 2021, human error contribute to 90% of data breaches according to TechRadar. Okay. So 90% is really a huge number. So always remember, human is the weakest link in cybersecurity. So this relates to our next topic, which is the password. So I will share the top 10 common password used in 2020. Okay. As you can see, the top common password in 2020 is 123456. So basically, it reflects the human factor. Okay. The more too complicated password make it simple and so on. So they're actually giving opportunities to cyber criminal basically to guess the password and so on. So actually, I've listed a few free websites that you can try to test your password range. So a strong password should consist of these six criteria. Sorry. So the first one is the password should be more than 10 characters. Number two, your password should contain uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbol, or special character. And most importantly is do not use your personal or related to your personal information. Okay. So why? Because of cyber criminal can guess your password if it's related to your personal information. Because nowadays, with the usage of social media, users tend to share details such as your birthday, SC number, and so on. Okay. So example-nya, it's my birthday today, and it indicates like 18 February today. So probably punya password, the name, and the birthday. Okay. So try to avoid from using this personal information. Okay, things pretty straightforward. So this is ways that you can protect your password. Okay, the first one is do not write down. Okay, and then change regularly. Okay, at least once in 3 months. And of course, do not share your password with anyone else. Okay, next topic, the bad software. So bad software can be categorized as 4. Number 1 is a malicious software. Okay, or in a short, malware. Malware include virus, worm, and Trojan. So the difference is computer virus is a program or software that connect itself to another software or computer program to harm your computer, which require human interaction. Okay, that's the key point, the human interaction. So basically, user need to click the virus in order for them to spread the virus. So it's totally different from worms. It's actually similar to viruses in the way they replicate functional copies of themselves and can cause the same type of damage. But worms are standalone software and do not require a host program or human to propagate. Okay. So while a Trojan is another type of malware named after the wooden horse that the Greeks used to infiltrate Troy. Okay, if you have watched the Troy movie. So it is a harmful piece of software that looks legitimate. So most probably macam ada advertisement saying that free Office 2019 and so on. And users are typically tricked into loading and executing it on their system. Okay, lepas atau activated, it can achieve any number of attacks on the host, from irritating the user, termasuk macam popping up windows, changing desktop, okay, which lead to damaging the host, seperti deleting files, stealing data, or activating and spreading another malware juga. Okay, such as viruses and so on. The second one is spyware. Okay, it's a combination from the words spying software, okay, which have the capabilities to monitor your activities and collect information. The next one is the adware, advertising software. So nowadays, most of the adware are blocked by features called pop-up blocker. Okay. And last but not least is the ransomware. So ransomware encrypts and hold your file as a ransom and require a payment in order for the third party, on other side to decrypt it. So once your PC actually infected by ransomware, there's a low probability of your files are actually getting retrieved balik. So one of the key to mitigate the ransomware need to actually to have sort of like a periodic backup on a daily basis if it's possible and so on. So most of the question being asked is, macam mana boleh my PC affected by malware? Okay, as you know that many people like free stuff. Okay, even myself don't like free stuff, to be honest. Okay, and that's actually where the cyber criminals spread malware by giving free malware from games, songs, movie, or even software. Okay, So usually they will embed malicious code to the free stuff. Okay. And then the kedua is by opening a spam email. Okay. Usually spam email will contain a sort of like malicious document. Okay. So when we try to click this malicious document, okay, we'll actually run ataupun activate the virus or the malware. And then visiting malicious website. Okay, bear in mind that is all the website hosted around the world it's not everything's safe. Some of them meant to be for malicious activities. So macam mana? So this is very important from the point of user to install antivirus and basically to update your operating system, okay, to detect that actually something malicious happening to your computer. And then, of course, one of the top activities that most of the internet users memakai nowadays is file sharing program. Okay, as I mentioned today, free stuff. Okay, Korean movie, apa lagi, lagu, and so on. Okay, so this is actually one of the entry point of cyber criminals spreading the malware juga through this peer-to-peer ataupun file sharing program. As you know that COVID masa ni pun ada yang punya menunjukkan malware symptom, okay, macam symptom batuk, selisma, same goes to the computer. Okay, usually it indicates sort of like symptoms to tell you that your PC itu affected by malware. So if you pernah encounter unfamiliar message ataupun some people call it blue screen of death, BSOD, okay, so there is a higher probability that your computer is affected by malware. So number 2 is low performance. Okay, you bought a computer 16 GB. Okay, it's very fast, and then somehow one day you're slow in terms of the performance. So most probably some activities ataupun some malicious activities actually running on the background using the resources and so on. And of course, computer crash. Some viruses are meant to be for destructive. Okay, so maksudnya when affect your computer, they try to crash the system. Okay. Okay, your webcam. As you know that nowadays, most of the majority of the laptops available in the market ada built-in webcam. Okay. As you can see, ada screen ini. This is actually one of the interface from the cyber criminal. It's a list of PC. Okay. Any example of PC affected by malware. Okay. So example, once they click this affected computer, they basically can view your webcam, they can access to your resources, and so on. Okay. So example, you have document inside this partition or hard disk or personal information, they actually can extract it, delete it, or format it according to their needs. Okay. Or they can even run a ransomware to your computer. And this is the update version of the previous one. So basically, ada indicate the country of origin. So as you can see, there's Canada, Italy. So basically, this PC affected by malware is based on Italy, India, Philippines, Thailand, Germany, and so on. Okay. Okay, how about your mobile phone? Sama juga. So anything that actually connected to the internet, they have their own risk. Same goes to your smartphone. Okay. As you can see, this is screenshots of affected mobile phone device, mainly on Android. Okay. So it doesn't mean that if you're using Apple, you're safe. It's actually the same. Tapi for the purpose of today's webinar, I'm just going to concentrate more on Android. Okay. So this is a list of affected mobile phone devices, Android devices. So question is, what can they do to our ataupun to the mobile phone affected by this Android malware? So this is actually what they can do. They can control over your mobile phone by ringing up, ringing down, media up. And then the scary part is this one. They can actually record audio and they can record video from your phone. Okay. So that's one of the reasons kadang-kadang if you encounter a post in social media saying that internet provider ini selalu habis kredit kah and so on. Okay. As you know that computer actually compute ataupun execute information or instruction based on what is being instructed. Okay, so maksudnya kalau ada activities is going on baru ia activate. So sama je macam dorang punya sistem, if you're not using the internet, say there's no probability of your credit has been kena deducted and so on. So kalau ada in a scenario where example kita membeli mobile apa tu namanya kredit pagi and then patang habis kredit, so most probably your PC atau mobile phone itu affected by this malware by accessing you guys punya resources and so on. Okay, ways to protect yourself from malware. Run antivirus and anti-spyware software which is automatically update. Okay, so antivirus and anti-spyware is two different products. So antivirus macam Mohd, Avast, Norton and so on. While anti-spyware usually it's a built-in punya software, especially on Windows macam Windows Defender and so on. And then protect your system by firewall. Keep your operating system and software up to date. And always keep backups of your important stuff. Okay, not within the same machine kalau boleh, extra additional punya pen drive and so on. Not within the same hard disk and so on. And then don't copy or run software from non-trusted sources. Okay, choose secure password and change them regularly. And don't open, answer, or even forward unexpected email attachment. If possible, delete them immediately. Again, cover your webcam. Okay, in this case, myself pernah menjual membeli these items which is only cost around $2 below di internet. So there's actually another alternative cost saving by using these methods. This is a 10 cent punya investment just to make sure that you're safe online. In case your computer affected by malware, they can access to your camera or webcam, but then this actually protects you from accessing the camera or the webcam. Okay, bagi siapa yang suka selfie throughout your phone, you have these options to lock ataupun to unlock your camera. Okay, next, we move to an quite interesting topic today, which is social engineering. So how do hackers steal your personal information? Okay, so social engineering is actually a method to steal information from the victims. So what sort of information? This information includes credit card, email, date of birth, and password. Okay, so social engineering is to manipulate or trick an individual to giving confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purpose. Okay, so remember when someone straight up ataupun someone that you don't know request for your credit card ataupun personal information macam credit card, email, date of birth, okay, never ever give the information to them. Why? Okay, so that actually leads to these common factors of social engineering. Okay, yang tiga-tiganya. So the first one is phishing, vishing, and smishing. Okay, so the main intention semuanya sama, to steal personal information from the victim, but using a different technique. Okay, the first one is phishing, is through email or social media. Vishing, okay, through either voice call or video call. And smishing itu can be through SMS or instant messaging. Okay, but with the same intention to steal personal information. Okay, for the purpose of today's punya webinar, we just can focus mainly on the phishing. So how does phishing works? Okay, example, you receive this email claiming daripada ABC Bank. Okay, so if you're not aware, you click this link and this website will appear. Okay, so we're just going to give an example, Abdullah and password. So you click submit. So you assume, by the time you click submit, you assume that this information is actually sending to ABC Bank, legitimate server. Okay, tapi sebenarnya on the other side, you're actually giving this information to XYZ Bank, sorry. Okay, so initially you punya email claim daripada ABC kan, so open a website and ask for your personal information. Okay, actually in the real world it's not ABC, it's actually XYZ which belong to the hacker punya server. Okay, so this is actually ways that you can detect it's either phishing ataupun tidak. And if from using your mobile phone, okay, you can hold the link around 3 seconds. Okay, so basically it will prompt you a link. So I'm just going to zoom. It's ryanspago.com/au. So supposed to be when we click this link, it should navigate us to Dropbox. But now they actually redirect us to another malicious software or hacker punya server. Okay, impersonate as a Dropbox. Okay, this is another example of phishing. Okay, this is example of that I received from my personal email. Okay, I don't have my bank account. Somehow one day I received this sort of like email saying that due to the enhanced security program and so on, we are required to log into your account. Okay, so example, we click this link, it will bring us to the websites, which looks exactly the same like the actual Maybank punya website. Okay, so example in a situation where user is not really aware of this threat, masukkan username, and once you click login, they're actually sending the information to the cyber criminal to this website. So as you can see, this website is actually based somewhere in Romania.ro, .bn Brunei, .sg Singapore, .my is Malaysia, and so on. So that .ro is Romania. So this phishing website is actually based in Romania. Let's take a look at another example, RHB Bank. Okay, the same approach, dear value customer. Okay, it's a very generic. Okay, and click here to renew. So example, they click the button or the link here. Will open a website. Okay, impersonating from RHB Bank. And as you can see the link, it's not RHB. It belongs to someone else. And this actually, the website is actually hosting the Indonesia.id. And as you know that the usage of social media nowadays is getting increasing. So they actually extend their own approach to social media as well. And I understand that some of the artists in Malaysia juga get victims of these phishing threats juga. So, okay, example, someone receive an email claiming daripada Instagram, okay, advertising and so on. So once they click this link, okay, most of the time phishing will give victims ataupun targeted punya a link. So once they click the link, this website will appear. Okay, looks exactly the same macam Instagram punya website. And then again, you can see it's not belong to Instagram, it's belong to someone else. Okay, so once you click ataupun once you enter the information for number, password, you're actually giving out information to this individual. Okay, so this is just some of the tips that you can identify as a phishing website. Okay, only have 2 minutes. I'm just going to make a quick one. Example of phishing di Brunei, a type. Okay, open your message, sama juga. It looks macam mana usulnya, tapi this website actually based in India.in. And the main difference is usually kalau HTTPS usually ada ia indicates a padlock. Tapi kalau a phishing website usually ada HTTP saja without the padlock. This is example of phishing that happened di Brunei juga 2-3 years ago related to Telbru, and now imagine sudah. And then example of smishing, SMS, okay, which I received a few years ago. So as you can see, the top one the first one is actually a legitimate punya website. The second one is the phishing websites, I without the dot. Okay, as you can see, I without the dot. So this is considered as phishing punya link. Okay. Again, Singapore Airlines giving away free tickets is a phishing scam. Okay. So same goes this phishing and smishing juga, WhatsApp color. So don't click WhatsApp color change, people report data loss and so on. Okay, smishing juga, pretend daripada official Apple, which require user to click. Okay, so again, they're targeting human factor. So ways to protect yourself against phishing: do not click any suspicious link, scan in an email, be wary of the person you communicate with, and then protect your personal information, run antivirus and anti-spyware, and of course, keep your system and software up to date. And again, keep your backups of your important data, and don't copy or run software from non-trusted resources. And secure your password and change it regularly. And then if you end up, refer to IT department. You can skip this one. So the last bit of the presentation today, what can you report to Brunei? Okay, so I'll be sharing sekarang the Lawa hotline, which operation on 24-hour basis. So sometimes we receive quite number of calls yang non-related to security, macam printernya rusak and so on. So we actually can't really assist them. So this is some of few cases that you can report in regards with cyber threats. So the first one will be infected computer, okay, macam viruses, worm, as I mentioned previously, malicious website, hack email account, kalau your email pernah kena compromise, phishing attack, business email compromise. Okay, so I don't have much time to explain more about business email compromise here. And then social media, okay, cyberbullying juga include website defacement and denial of service. Okay, so this is ways that you can report a cybersecurity incident. You can either email us at reporting@brucet.org.bn, or you can call us at 245-001, okay, 24-hour, or even you can reach us at WhatsApp at 716-7066. Okay, so that's the all of my presentation today. We open the floor for question and answer session.
Thank you, Pangeran, for a very informative presentation. We have a few questions here. The first one from Hakim. He got the questions. We have a lot of excuse me. We have a lot of passwords for a few different accounts, and sometimes it is impossible to memorize all the passwords. We need to store the passwords in our phones. Is it safe? What's your advice on this? And another question is, how can we tell if a website is safe even though it is HTTPS?
Okay, so thank you. We're gonna answer the first question. Okay, we have a lot of passwords for a few different accounts, and sometimes it's possible to memorize. Okay, this depends on the individual. Each individual. For myself, I usually write down the password on a paper, and I make sure that the paper always keep in a safe and a secure place. Okay, but another alternative is you can put it at a WordPad, or even Microsoft Word or any other application. Lepas satu, you need to encrypt it. Okay, so basically, in order for you to open this Word document, you only require one password. So after you open the password, then inside the document will be listed all of the password that require for you to log in. Okay. So the second question is.
For the second question, how can we tell if a website is safe even though it is HTTPS?
How can we tell if a website is safe even though it's HTTPS? Okay. So most of the time, when you're talking about HTTPS, it's an encrypted tunnel. So I'm going a bit of technical because he's touching more on HTTPS. So it's actually HTTPS is encryption and technology to encrypt information in between the server and the client itself. Okay, so most of the time HTTPS is actually a secure technology to secure, basically to protect your data, information, and so on.
From Narul Huda, besides being academically certified and qualified, what are the characteristics or attitude must one have or possess if one is contemplating to venture into cybersecurity career pathway?
Okay, I think based on the experience, usually academic certified and qualified, usually kami ada sort of like experience what we've been doing for the past 4 or 5 years in regards with cybersecurity. Macam from myself, I've been exploring on the Microsoft products and so on. So academic have to be there, and experience pun are required in order to venture the cybersecurity career. Yeah. So most probably you can start up with a network punya venture, and then slowly you can move into cybersecurity punya career. Okay. It has to be start somewhere in between.
From Alpius Villa, does Brucert can decrypted SOP documents?
Does Brucert can decrypt? Okay. Good question. Okay. We see the definition of encrypting dulu. What does it mean by encryption sebenarnya? So encryption is actually a mechanism basically to protect the information. Okay. So in regards to answer your question ini, there's actually no technology to decrypt any encrypted document other than the same technology. So basically kalau macam contohnya, if you're encrypting using SHA-256 example, so you need to have the same decryption key juga in order for them to decrypt it. Okay. So again, in order for us to decrypt MSOP document juga, we need to have the decryption key juga. Okay. So there's no probability for even Brucert or any other individual to basically decrypt the document atau the encryption itself defines the information punya security, how you can protect the data.
And from Dayanku Fariza, is VPN safe to use?
Okay, sama juga. It's a big topic pula ni VPN ni. It depends on what VPN you use. Okay, kalau VPN itu provided by your organization or hosted locally within your corporate, then that's fine. Tapi if using a third party punya VPN, I usually advise kalau boleh jangan terpakai. Kesannya VPN ni is actually hosted somewhere else di Brunei. So in terms of security, it's safe between one point to another point. Tapi once the information itu arrive to the wrong punya server VPN, we actually don't know what they have been doing on other side. Okay.
From Suhaina, are you aware that UBD is being attacked by ransomware? If yes, may we have a guess or an insight on how you tackle that issue?
Okay, yes, of course. Brucert or Cybersecurity Brunei is actually contacted by UBD, I think couple of weeks ago, okay, in regard with ransomware. So in a conclusion, usually most of the reason usually is because of human factors again. Macam people tend to click link and so on. Okay, they don't target the device itself, tapi they target the user yang memakai UBD punya network or system itself. Okay.
From Atar Sukri, are cybersecurity jobs short-staffed and in demand in Brunei?
Actually, I can't really answer the question. Tapi from the point of view, I think from the HR it's quite a challenging for HR to actually look into the selected ataupun qualified cybersecurity punya market because as you know that again when it comes to experience it usually require 3 to 5 years of experience, and most of the market di sana tu usually they don't provide sort of cybersecurity punya job. Okay, selalunya is generic. Okay.
From Abdul Walid Musli, Assalamualaikum Tuan Presenter. I would like to know how can we invite speaker from Brucert as guest speaker on related topics for teachers?
Okay, thank you Abdul Walid. For more information, especially on inviting speaker from Brucert, you can drop us an email at I'll share okay. Or you can visit us at www.secureverify.connect.info for more information. I think that's the best way to approach in terms of inviting us for the awareness talk. Okay, thank you, Abdul Walid.
Maybe last question from myself, Tuan. I recently come across this case where my friend has been balik-balik kena scam lah through Instagram, social media. As we all know that Brunei macam ramai orang suka pakai social media on IG. So this scammer usually use someone else's profile and they pretend to like try to macam get love interest, for example, and then they try to get your WhatsApp. So what is your advice on this? Maybe apa tu information dari bis kita boleh di-share lah.
Okay, I like this topic ni sebenarnya. Ini is a common issue that actually happening, especially di Brunei itself. Most of the victims only get scammed through social media and so on. So what actually we can recommend based on best practice sebenarnya, as you know that social media ni is meant to be for social networks. It's not meant to be for apa ni orang jual beli barang. So what we usually can advise kalau boleh get a proper e-commerce software ataupun websites basically untuk membeli barang and so on. So even though it's not apa tu orang Facebook itself ni kalau you report it ada scamming apa they want entertain user nya untuk scamming ini and so on. Pasal it doesn't cover under orang punya policy. So when you state that it's scamming, it's actually they just gonna reply it's your own fault, it's human punya fault. Okay. Sama je macam in real life, people kena tipu apa dan sebagainya kan. So it depends again back to the individual itself lah, just to make sure that orang aware akan bahaya banyak internet ni lah, kena tipu dan sebagainya.
Thank you so much, Penyeran, for
Okay,
the very interesting presentation. That's the end of our session today. I hope it benefits everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar session. Inshallah, we will be back tomorrow for more interesting webinars starting from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For now, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.